Hi there, and welcome to The Works. I'm Ben Shea.
And I'm Ben Peltier. In today's show, a musician described by one critic as the most exciting prodigy to ever come my way. He's American Chinese pianist and composer Conrad Tao. He performed with the Hong Kong Philharmonic in February. He's only 18, and he's already getting commissions to write orchestral works.
We'll also have in our studio a composer and performer of a different kind. Singer-songwriter Ben Simmons was born in Pontypridd in Wales, released his first album on the internet, where it's now attracted well over 100,000 downloads, and now has a connection in Hong Kong. He'll tell us more later.
We also crossed the border from Wales to look at the work of English visual artist Jason Martin, currently on show at the Pearl Lamb Gallery.
First, though, another gallery has joined the ranks of international galleries setting up shop in Hong Kong. It's the Lehmann Maupin Gallery, and its first show here is the work of leading Korean artist Lee Bull.
The Lehmann Maupin Gallery opened in 1996 in New York, where they now have 2 exhibition spaces. On March 14th, they opened the first international exhibition space in Hong Kong's Pedder building.
Because Pedder building has a history. Pedder building is one of the landmarks of Hong Kong. Pedder building has a very, very interesting architecture. Pedder building has other galleries which are located already in the building. As a beginning step, the right move, rather than going, for example, to Aberdeen or to Kowloon.
Since 2010, 3 other international galleries have set up shop in the same building. Rochelle also says that participating in Arts Hong Kong in recent years helped them to realize the potential of the Hong Kong arts market.
I remember the first time I came to Hong Kong, which was in 1980. It was a very, very, very different place. The last 3 years, I think that it has just overflown with galleries, artists, international galleries and dealers, and business people. Now what has happened as well is that art became more of a way of living for a lot of people. People travel to see art. People look at the art experience as part of lifestyle. And that has changed a lot in Hong Kong. And you've had major galleries, Chinese galleries and Hong Kong-based galleries develop here in the last year. And you had as well an overflow of foreign galleries open here. In the last several years. So it has changed tremendously. So basically you're talking about a place which is small in physical space, but many people live here, and you have a lot of things happening. You have the 3 elements which are important. You have the museum, you have the artists, and you have the galleries. So it's a really thriving market, a very interesting, very open market.
The gallery's inaugural Hong Kong exhibition features works by one of the most influential contemporary Korean artists, Lee Bull. Lee grew up in Seoul. Her work has been exhibited extensively in international museums, such as the Museum of Modern Art New York and the Mori Art Museum in Tokyo. Pieces on show in the ongoing exhibition include paintings and sculptures made of polyurethane and metals.
I'm interested about visual language, so architectural modernism in particular. So I'm interested about how these ideas to move and make a shape in the public. Basically, this structure is polyurethane. Polyurethane is a kind of, it's a artificial material for the silicone before, yeah. So now it's more popular. And then, I cover the whole, painting technique. So it's like, it's a classical painting.
The exhibition will run until May 11th.
Last month, the Hong Kong Philharmonic invited an 18-year-old American Chinese pianist named Conrad Tao to take to the stage with them to perform Mozart's Piano Concerto No. 21 in C. It was an impressive performance.
Conrad already has 2 CDs to his name, and he's also developing a reputation as a composer.
I started when I was 18 months. I was banging away like a lot of babies do. I started making the melody for Mary Had a Little Lamb, and I started it, and I would, when I hit a wrong note or something, I would go back and start over again.
18-year-old pianist and composer Conrad Tao was born in Urbana, Illinois. He was in Hong Kong last month performing Mozart's Piano Concerto No. 21 with the Hong Kong Philharmonic Orchestra and conductor Yap van Zweden. He'd already been commissioned by the Philharmonic to write Pangu, the fanfare that opened last October's inaugural concert for Yap van Zweden's tenure as music director. From banging away at a piano at 18 months, Conrad moved on to giving his first piano recital at the age of 4 and making his concerto debut at 8. When he was 9, his family moved to New York City and he enrolled at the Juilliard School. He is an 8-time consecutive winner of the ASCAP Morton Gould Young Composer Award, a United States Presidential Scholar in the Arts, a Davidson Fellow Laureate, and a Gilmore Foundation Young Artist.
Classical music is a language that I speak and a language that I'm constantly trying to learn and create new meaning in. And it's just one of many musical languages. I mean, music has so many different specific languages, and this is just one of them. And it's one that I love, and you know, am always working to improve my relationship with. And I think that's really what it is. It becomes this method of communication. And what I love about musical languages in general is that a lot of the times they're much more abstract than spoken language and written language, which can be very, very limiting.
Unlike many musical prodigies, Conrad doesn't come from a particularly musical background. His father is an engineer, his mother a research scientist. He says she was more shocked than thrilled to discover he loved the piano so much, and they did not push him to achieve.
I think the most drastic thing that ever happened was, they would say, well, if you don't want to practice, you don't have to have lessons. I mean, if you don't want to do this, if you don't want to play, if you don't want to do this, you don't have to take lessons. And that was always a really good motivator. A lot of people ask, are your parents or is your mom a tiger mom? And no. The answer is no, primarily because my mother totally disagrees with the philosophy that in order to enjoy something, you have to be good at it.
Aside from classical music, Conrad also experiments with the pop world. He's already written, produced and released 2 pop albums and 1 EP under the name of Tao Tao. These pieces are mostly electronic. To him, writing pop music complements his classical music work.
It's a great challenge. It's very different, for example, writing like a 4-minute pop song than it is to write a longer, more expansive work for whatever ensemble, chamber music or orchestra or any of that. I'm very interested in where these things start to meet. I mean, I think that for my generation, these things are colliding a lot more. I think that we have the power to really, really completely radically rethink what it means to be a classical musician or even a musician at all.
Now he's taking on another challenge. The Dallas Symphony Orchestra has commissioned him to write an orchestral work commemorating the 50th anniversary of John F. Kennedy's assassination. It's scheduled to debut in November this year. The assassination happened long before his time, but he hopes that will allow him to bring a new perspective to it.
JFK's assassination was not just the assassination of a president, but for a lot of people it was the end of a time, like a specific time. But the thing is that it was an end of a specific time for a specific group of people. And the title of the piece is "The World is Very Different Now," and it comes from JFK's inaugural address. And he was talking about the Soviet Union, which for the United States was this huge threat, and you know, it was, or at least it was understood and created and viewed as this like big dangerous thing. And the thing is that kind of sentiment, the world is very different now, the world is dangerous now. My generation, we grew up with that. We grew up with that perhaps even more than anyone.
Welcome back.
Until the 10th of April, the Pearl Lamb Gallery is featuring a solo exhibition of work by British artist Jason Martin. Jason takes inspiration from both minimalism and abstract expressionism.
His paintings aren't so much about the world around us as about paint, color, and even the brush strokes themselves.
To try to reduce painting to something so finite is a very Eastern idea. I mean, temple. This is a minimal gesture, but it's loaded with meaning, significance, metaphor, symbolism. So it's been around for a long time. Expressionism is more of a sort of heated posture. It's more about projecting a personality into a surface.
Jason Martin appeared on the global visual art scene in the late 1990s in London and was soon dubbed an active member of the young British artist generation. He came to international attention in the groundbreaking show Sensation, Young British Artist from the Saatchi collection, where his work appeared alongside that of Damien Hirst and Tracy Emin. In Martin's first solo exhibition in Hong Kong, each painting is named after one of the world's most notorious or tyrannical dictators.
Sacred Monsters, Sacred Masters was a book written by John Richardson, on one of a book which I very much enjoyed, which was about individuals, extreme individuals over the 20th century. Some that we know that are artists, public figures that we're all starting to get so familiar with, where governments and countries are falling apart by the day, and certain figures hold the power and won't let go. So it's a kind of it's a sort of parody on that, and or an allegory, and each work has an iconic character.
Martin's signature style features heavily impasto layers of oil paint tinted with supersaturated, vivid, pure pigment. His aim is to make colour, shape and texture one element, achieving a balance between each characteristic in which none predominates.
These paintings have strong figurations, connections with the natural world, the landscape, with the body, many associations that you get from the surfaces of these works. And these works, I think, have great physicality to them. How you understand, how you read a work hanging on the wall, the history of objects. We've been communicating from Lascaux caves. We've been communicating through images before we learnt the written word or learnt really how to articulate language. As much as I've got a limited time here, my works will carry hopefully the spirit of the condition of myself, or what it was like to live at the time that I am here, and they become a timeless classic.
Singer-songwriter Ben Simmons was born in South Wales, has released his music on the internet, and has gradually built up a considerable reputation through word of mouth. Last month, he signed a contract with a Hong Kong-based management company. He's here with us right now to tell us more about that and about his music. Hi, Ben. Welcome to the program.
How you doing, Ben? Good to meet you, man.
You too. So perhaps you can start by telling us, what brought you all the way here to Hong Kong, Ben?
It's a long story, but I basically recorded an album in America last year. And one of the songs that I recorded, Serenity, was heard by management over here, and they liked the song a lot, but they wanted a different kind of feel to the song. The track's more band orientated, but they wanted to just break it down acoustic, all about the message and the vocals. So I was asked to come over to record that track again, and it ended up with me signing on the dotted line. So that's about it, really.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, your first album, you did it was a very DIY kind of affair, but then over the years had a lot of downloads. Perhaps tell us a bit about that then.
Yeah, well, I recorded the first album with a band. Ben Semmer was called back then, actually, which is a bit strange. But and then we went to the studio, recorded the album, and came back out and sort of done social media, Facebook, MySpace then was quite big, especially in America, and it just all took off. It just all took off, word of mouth, it all spread, and it was like 50,000, 60,000, 70,000, and it just kept on going up and up. I don't know what it's on now, but it's got me to where I am today, I think.
And
So
where do you see yourself going forward from here?
that's up to management. I mean, we've had some label interest and things, but I just like to keep all that type of stuff to the management team, and I just like to do what I do. So otherwise I get too stressed, you know.
If people want to find out more about you, your music, is there a website they can go to for that?
Yeah, they can go to www.bensimmons.com. If you just type in Ben Simmons in a Google search, I mean, whoosh, I'll come up. So Facebook, MySpace, Twitter, all the usual cool things. So
Great.
Easy enough.
And lastly, what song would you like to play for us in the studio tonight then?
I'd like to play Serenity for you. Management would like me to play Serenity. It's really nice. It's a really nice track. It's very, very down and very mellow, but it's the one that we're most concentrating on right now. So,
Okay, looking forward to it.
cheers, man. Thank you. So you keep safe in the morning, those troubles that have gone, and now you're worried about your life and the hurt that passed you by, for the times that you have fallen and the times that you were wrong, and they were made to make you stronger, to take each day as they come. And God grant me the serenity to accept in those things that I just can't change, and the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. As you're walking through the darkness, take pride in how you've grown, 'cause there's a question and an answer, so just ask, you're not alone. And it hurts you to remember, and it hurts you when you're told, so please answer all my questions, so I don't feel so alone. And God grant me the serenity to accept in those things that I just can't change, and the courage to
change the things that I can, and all the wisdom to know the difference. Oh, now, oh, I'm gonna try to see the difference. Oh, and I feel something now. So, oh Lord, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. So God, grant me the serenity to accept those things that I just can't change, and the courage to change the things I can, and all the wisdom to know the difference.